So I just randomly thought of that song by Kelly Clarkson called Breakaway. You know the song that was on Princess Diaries too? Specifically the part, I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Make a wish, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun, but I won't forget all the ones that I love. I would sing it, but I'm not really in a singing mood. I kind of feel a little funny. It's people in my house, and I get nervous to sing around people. But anyway, you are in your breakthrough season of you breaking away from the shackles, from the strongholds, from the chains and the pain of your past. Everything that was weighing you down, everything that was holding you back, everything that was keeping you from breaking through, from breaking away to the phase of your life that you are meant to be in right now. For so many phases of your, like so many seasons in your life, it just felt like you were just on this loop, like you were just going through so much pain, going through so much trauma, and just having to just look back at your past, look back at your experiences, look back at your traumas, because things were just coming up to the surface. Things that were suppressed finally had to come up, and you had to basically go through that phase for a purpose, because there was so much clarity and wisdom that needed to come through. Because you are the type of person where before you can let go of things, you have to understand what you went through, why you went through it, and just gain clarity and closure on your situations. And because you felt that you lacked closure in situations, it was more difficult for you to actually let go. But you are in this season you are in your breakaway season. You are breaking away from just anything that is no longer serving your highest good. You are breaking away from, homes that you live in. Like if you've lived in the home that you, breaking away from like the place that you live, where if you're living with your parents, you're going to be breaking away from them and you're moving into your own place. If you're living just with certain family members or relatives or just anybody that you just don't want to live with anymore, roommates, whatever, you're going to be breaking away from that home and going into your own place so that you can finally be in your own energy. You can have your own space, your own sacred sanctuary, and you're able to have your own vibe. You're also breaking away from the version of yourself that you used to be, the version of yourself that would fall back into those bad habits, the version of yourself that would self-sabotage, the version of yourself that would be so hard on yourself. You're breaking away from that version and you are stepping into this version where you are loving yourself unconditionally. You are giving yourself unconditional grace. And even if you have moments where you feel like you're not doing enough, or you may not be trying hard enough, or you may just feel like you may see what you're actually doing, but you may be so hard on yourself to feel like I should be doing more, I should be doing enough, or you're breaking away from that perfectionism of feeling like you have to do everything perfect. You're breaking away from that and you're finally entering into this graceful season where you are going to be giving yourself grace. You're going to be understanding that things have happened for you and not to you. You're understanding that you are always in the place that you meant to be, and you are always going at the pace that you needed to go on. So specifically, I'm talking to the collective of people that you wanted to move out of your parents' home. You wanted to get out of there and have your own place, but it just felt like things were weighing you down. It just felt like you weren't moving as It felt like you weren't moving as fast enough. Other people may have been judging you. Other people may have called you stagnant. Other people may have just tried to act like you weren't doing your due diligence to get yourself out of your situation. But honestly, God had bigger plans, and God was halting things for you because there was a reason for you to be where you were. You had to learn certain lessons, and you had to do it while you were living there, because the strength that you have now is unmatched, and you wouldn't have had the same strength if you would have gotten out any sooner. You got to realize that God is never early, God is never late, God is always on time. And we have to trust and believe that God is orchestrating everything the way that it is supposed to be orchestrated, and that God has a purpose for everything. There is a purpose for every phase of your life. And especially when you are fulfilling a big mission in your life, that the one thing that you have, like when you have a strong purpose in your life, the one thing that God teaches you is patience, is to be patient. where like being patient on moving out of your parents' house, because it's like the patience that you grew from being there longer than you wanted to be, longer than you felt like you needed to be, is going to give you so much power and strength and confidence and security within yourself. So by the time that God gives this to you and gives you your new place, whether this is a home, whether this is a house or an apartment or a condo, whatever it's going to be, when you have this, now you are at a place in your life where the strength that you have now and the power that you hold, you will be able to sustain it. You will be able to really push forward because God had to strengthen you. You were like, God had to train you. Thank you, Spirit. You were in like this training ground. So you stayed where you were as long as you needed to be because God is training you. God is training. Thank you, Spirit. God is training you spiritually. God like training your mind's eye, training your third eye, training you to trust your intuition, to increase in your discernment, and to recognize that you have your third eye open so that you are able to see what is happening in the spirit realm and as it's manifesting out into the physical. God is strengthening your mental, your mental strength. Is making sure that you are having a strong, sound mind, making sure that you are staying vigilant, making sure that as you go through things in life that your mindset needs to be stead focused on yourself, on God, on your purpose, and for you to eliminate those negative thoughts that were weighing you down. It's for you had to defeat the mental battles in your mind before you can get out of here. You had to defeat them first, because if you would have been in your own place when all this was still going on inside of your head, it probably wouldn't have ended well. You probably would have suffered even more. You had to overcome the mental battles in your head first. It was strengthening your emotional state where despite what was happening, despite what was coming against you, you were still in a place of being able to have your pure heart, have that love within your heart where it didn't turn your heart cold. It made your heart stay warm. It made your heart stay pure. You did face a lot of spiritual attacks. You faced tumultuous spiritual attacks, and it was all to break your spirit. It was all to break you down. Like, it was an attempt. Forgive me. It was an attempt from the enemy to break you down, to break your spirit, to get you to turn cold, to get you to turn sour, to get you to turn bitter. But your heart got better. Your heart got warmer instead of colder. Your heart got better instead of bitter. Your heart got a lot stronger instead of weaker. Your heart got bigger and expanded instead of shrinking and getting smaller. You overcame the spiritual attacks because the attacks formed, but they did not prosper. It also strengthened you physically. Like, your physical strength is a whole lot better, where maybe like if you were dealing with certain eating habits, or maybe your appetite was different, maybe you were feeling malnourished, maybe you were going through weight loss or weight gain, whatever the case was, it got you to get back into a healthy grounding state physically. Or some of you may have dealt with a lot of weight loss because whenever you get stressed, you don't eat and you lost a lot of weight and you were very malnourished. Or for some of you, when you get very stressed, you stress eat and you eat a lot and you were dealing with weight gain. But now this got to a point where you were able to be grounded into a state where you have a healthy balance and relationship with food. This is also for you getting better physically, where the stuff that you eat, the food that you eat, your diet is changing. You're eating more healthier. You are definitely like getting more active. You are working out more. You are exercising more. Strengthening your spiritual sense, where you are praying more. You are talking to God more. You are meditating. You are, just spending more time talking with God, spending more time in the presence of God, so that God can guide you. God can give you the wisdom. God can give you the clarity. God can just guide you on where God wants you to be. God can give you that clarity and closure, where God really pretty much had to do some internal work on you while you were here, so that when God releases you from this place and allows you to move forward, you now have the strength and the power that you have. You have the mental capacity, the emotional capacity, the spiritual capacity, the physical capacity, to the energetic capacity to be able to abstain this new phase of your life. You had to get stronger first. You had to increase your strength. And the spiritual attacks were sent to break you down, but you did not break down. You broke through. You fought against it. You made the devil flee away from you. You broke through, and now you are ready to break away from what was weighing you down and the shackles that were holding you down and the old habits you have. Like, you are more sober. You are celibate. You are really breaking away from whatever coping mechanisms that you had that you were codependent on, breaking away from codependency on people, breaking away from that, where you are relying on God and your strength alone. So proud of you, baby. Breakaway.